For our public service announcement campaign, we talked about the availability of birth control at the University of Kentucky. We decided on this topic because we thought that students are not fully educated on birth control. This topic is also relevant to UK students, specifically females. We felt that every student on UK's campus should be informed about the birth control options that are available to them through the university. We discovered through a survey that many birth control users do not even feel educated on the birth control they are currently taking. So we decided to expand our research by covering all the different types of hormonal birth control. To do so, we conducted scholarly research and interviews. Furthering our research allowed us to relay more knowledgeable information to females across campus and correctly inform them about birth control. When doing our research, we split the types of birth control among our group members and did individual research, then came back together as a group and put our information together. We have used a video, a brochure, and a website as our modes of campaign choice. In the video, we used a variety of rhetorical strategies in order to appropriately get our information across. Our main method of appeal was ethos. Throughout the video, we reference our sources to give credibility to our information. For example, in this clip, Shelby states the name of the article she is using before stating her information.
Take it. According to the article, Contraceptive Implants Providing Better Choice to Meet Growing Family Planning Demands states, contraceptive implants are extremely effective, long-acting, and suitable for nearly all women.
We also stated that we interviewed the health and wellness nurse at the student clinic. This verified our credibility because people are more apt to believe nurses and doctors than students about birth control. The topic of birth control itself appeals to students in general, as a large part of this generation's ethos is focused on hookup culture. According to the American Psychological Association, hookup culture encourages physical relationships with no strings attached. This includes one-night stands and friends with benefits. And with the flux of apps like Tinder on college campuses, hookup culture is more prominent now than it ever was. Therefore, there is a larger need for college students to use birth control to prevent unwanted pregnancy. Unfortunately, many students are not educated on how birth control works, its variety of uses, how to obtain it, or how much it costs. So a video that hits all of these topics in a reasonable amount of time would appeal to students. In addition, this video could potentially be accessed online, which would appeal to students as the majority of information is now primarily accessed through the internet. Birth control and its availability are heavily debated topics in today's society, which is another appeal to ethos. It is especially a large topic in healthcare, recent presidential campaigns, and the Planned Parenthood controversy. Therefore, people are more open to talking about birth control than in the past, but that does not mean people are well educated on it. False information about birth control is spread through the internet and social media by people who do not believe in birth control or those who are misinformed. And because students use the internet and social media frequently, this information spreads quickly, and many people believe it to be true. This is why we included quotes of commonly heard misconceptions at the beginning of the video. These quotes show that we can identify what is true versus untrue, furthering our credibility.
Our group decided on this topic of birth control availability at the University of Kentucky Student Clinic because it is extremely relatable. As college students, we see how important it is for everyone to practice safe sex, and providing multiple birth control options to female college students is a great way to make sure this is achieved. This is an important topic for everyone to pay attention to because unwanted pregnancy, especially in teens, is a huge issue in today's society. One campaign piece I decided to use is an informational brochure. Our group decided on a brochure because we thought it was the perfect opportunity to provide the audience, or you guys, with tons of information regarding not only birth control options at the University of Kentucky Student Clinic, but also with information about each type of birth control, whether they be hormonal or non-hormonal. One primary source that this brochure revolved around was the personal interview that Claire and I had with Debbie Gardner, the female health nurse at the clinic. By meeting with Debbie, we were able to gather information regarding each type of hormonal birth control option, and she told us whether or not they were available for students at the clinic. This brochure was designed in a way that is easy to read and navigate. The first piece of information provided in the brochure was which types of birth control were available at the clinic. In other words, which types of nurses are actually allowed to prescribe. On the next couple of pages, I put information about each type of birth control, hormonal and non-hormonal, along with other facts. This is followed by some information regarding why it is important to prevent unwanted pregnancy and what is the best way to do so. On the back, I put some information about what exactly the student clinic does, along with their contact information and address. I think that by presenting this project, more people will become aware of the fact that unwanted pregnancy is actually a huge problem and it can change lives. Rather than focusing on why birth control should be available over the counter, we discuss which kinds are available to students in order to prevent pregnancy. I hope that young females at UK can take something from this and begin taking advantage of the great things the clinic provides for us as students. If more people start practicing safe sex and using these safer options, the rate of pregnancy will definitely decrease, and that is the whole point of this project.
In today's world, the easiest way to receive information about an unknown topic is to use the internet. For this campaign, I thought it was crucial to make a professional-looking webpage that is easy for students to find. Teen pregnancy is an issue that is most common in the United States. Explaining birth control and which types are accessible to college students is important in order to ensure the safety of young women and also prevent pregnancy. I was responsible for one of the additional campaign pieces. I created a website, and for my audience, I wanted to capture the interest of young adults. The website had a large picture of a pregnant woman on the main screen, and I used that to show the reality of what happens when students or anyone that does not want to get pregnant has unprotected sex. My goal for the website was to be as unbiased as possible and provide information on all types of birth control, including the information that the most reliable form is abstinence. I also wanted to give the audience access to the University of Kentucky's clinic and provide them with contact information. For the website, I wanted to make sure that I incorporated the interviews that our group used for our PSA. Primarily, I used Glay's interview with a representative from the UK clinic on the webpage, which can be found under the tab Interviews. Most of the information that can be seen on the website I pulled from previous parts of our project, especially from the original webpage. A lot of the information used in this campaign piece came from the University of Kentucky's website. These sources supported the argument primarily because the focus of the website was to provide students the access to find information on birth control and how to receive contraceptives. The information on the website from the primary and secondary sources do a good job directing students and providing enough information, but not in an overwhelming amount of details. The main message of our campaign was to show the misinterpretations of birth control, provide information that eradicates these notions, and finally provide information about birth control here at the University of Kentucky. The website I created shows all of these three things. For the website, I wanted it to be easy to navigate and understand. The page is very straightforward, but also has images and enough animation to keep the audience interested in the website.
For the PSA campaign, we have created a video using Microsoft Movie Maker. The importance of using a video allowed us to show all the information we gathered and effectively portray our information. When deciding how to structure the video, we decided that the best option would be something that is very straightforward so there could be no confusion. It also kept the video formal, but the diction is simple, so people from all levels of education can understand it. The format of the video is a PowerPoint with voiceover. This made it easier to flow with since there is 5 different speakers in the video. Since all of us did our own voiceovers, it made it so we could do our own portions of the video individually and still come together in a video and be put together. Also, it allowed our group to give photos and segments of information for a viewer to see. For example, when talking about emergency contraception, there are quotations on a slide and also a photo of emergency contraceptives. This gives the viewer something to read and keep their attention on, but the photo, which is more interesting than the text, is informational too. The information we have found about birth control is from scholarly articles, photos we have taken, and interviews, which are displayed on the website and also quoted throughout the different segments of the video. We started the video with a disclaimer.
Warning: the following types of birth control do not protect from STIs, unlike condoms and abstinence.
This should have informed viewers that we would not be covering condoms and abstinence, and also inform them that you are not protected from sexually transmitted diseases when taking these birth controls. The tone is factual and straightforward in the video, which can be boring, but is also the easiest in an informational setting. A straightforward and factual tone is important in this sort of video because we do not want to give the viewers false or misleading information. All of the birth controls in the video are meant to logically inform the viewers. Logos is used in the video through our research because this topic is informational. Both logic and tone avoids bias. Ethos is also used throughout the video. We need credibility because we did research on a topic that we ourselves were not fully informed with, and also let our viewers know that we have done the research and are reliable when discussing birth control. Then, at the ending of the video, we provide students with information to make an appointment.
Birth control will make you fat. Birth control will make you moodier. Plan B kills babies.
Both logic and tone avoids bias. Ethos is also used throughout the video. We need credibility because we did research on a topic that we ourselves were not fully informed with, and also let our viewers know that we have done the research and are reliable when discussing birth control. Then, at the ending of the video, we provide students with information to make an appointment at the clinic or to further their knowledge if they still have questions.
If you would like more information on birth control, please visit the University Health Services or make an appointment to speak to a sexual health and wellness nurse. Appointments can be made online or you can call 859-323-5823. University Health Services is located at 830 South Limestone. You can check out their website, too, at ukhealthcare.uky.edu.
Overall, having a video as part of our campaign has been important because it can be easily accessed online, it has reliable information, and it can also be easily understood if a person has no medical background. All of these campaign pieces have given plenty of information to educate a person about birth control and give them reliable sources and more information on birth control.
This campaign has been one that was challenging, informing, and presented a lot of opportunities to learn. Most importantly, I believe this project not only informed me about the different types of birth control, it taught me how to better communicate in a group project. I learned new things about technology and, more importantly, about how to collaborate information. Although some college students may be turned off by the idea of working in a group project, I think it has been helpful and taken a lot of stress away from the public service announcement in the WRG class. Birth control is a serious topic and needs to be taken in a serious tone, but I think for this project, because our audience was college students, it was important to lighten the mood and make the topic more appealing.
The video brochure and the website are effective modes for our campaign. They allowed our group to give out reliable information about different hormonal birth controls. These modes are helping us inform people about different types of birth control, misconceptions people may have. As our rhetorical appeals, we used ethos and logos. They allowed information to be relayed structurally sound and credible for people who would like more information. If we were to further our PSA campaign, we could discuss Planned Parenthood and birth control availability with regular health insurance. We could research the options offered through Planned Parenthood and what specific insurances cover certain types of birth control are covered. Looking into different types of insurances and the types of plans they offer and how much they would cost, this would be beneficial for women in Lexington who are not students. From our research, we have learned more about birth control than our previous knowledge, such as not all things we hear about birth control are true, such as significant weight gain. There are more options available at the clinic than some of us knew existed. We also did not know that the clinic offers birth control at a reduced rate. We learned about the way these different birth controls work. For example, the implant lasts for 3 years and goes into a woman's arm and slowly releases hormones. All of these things we may have never known if it were not for furthering our research on birth control. After all the research done and the things we have learned, hopefully we are able to give people a more knowledgeable answer when talking about birth control options. Some questions that arose when doing and after our research would be: how has birth control using improved throughout the years, and also how has the quality of birth control improved? How old do people usually stay on birth control? Is there a way to know what type of birth control is best for you without trying more than one kind?
If we could have done anything differently, it would have been the separation of the types of birth control among the group members. Instead of a male discussing oral contraception, we would have had him discuss misconceptions about birth control instead. Having a more appealing format would have been idealistic also, such as adding more video clips and maybe a BuzzFeed style to the format, but still keeping the educational aspect. We would have included more interviews with more nurses or a doctor. That way we have more first-hand information and more personal interviews with more women. We would ask them questions like, why do they use their specific type of birth control? We would also discuss condoms for a male perspective or permanent birth control, such as a hysterectomy for females and a vasectomy for males.